Hey, today we've got a developer status update on a new vehicle feature that will be arriving in the near future. They also talk about when we'll get the vehicle stratagem. Not only that, the developers address disconnection issues, and there's so much more I'll be going over in today's video. If you would like to support the channel, please hit the like button below by tapping the thumbs up button at any point, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's start off by taking a look at a post together that was created by the Arrowhead support team about an upcoming vehicle feature. I'm sure you all have noticed there's no way to send out a stratagem from the passenger side of the FRV vehicle, nor can you throw a grenade out as well. Thankfully, the developers are planning to update the vehicle in the near future. For instance, we can see the proof here where the support team answered a question that essentially asked why it's not possible to throw grenades or stratagems from the passenger side of the FRV vehicle. The support team said, "Currently, there is no feature present that allows passengers in the FRV to throw grenades or stratagems, but don't worry, we are working on implementing this. Please be patient whilst we ensure that all our Helldiver passengers can throw things to their heart's content." This right here is something we can expect at some point. It's an absolute must-have, and I can't wait to see it featured in Helldivers 2. It's going to make spreading democracy even better once we're able to toss out a few grenades and stratagems. I don't know if anyone would like to see an upgraded fast recon vehicle, or possibly a vehicle that has a flamethrower attached instead of a mounted gun at the top, like what we have now. Maybe even an arc mounted gun would be pretty cool to have. Speaking of vehicles, if you have been experiencing some sort of difficulty when driving, there's actually an accessibility option you can change to make driving a little bit easier. What we have right now is that you have to switch gears in order to reverse, which I think is very unique, by the way. But let's say you want to make it easier to drive so you don't have to switch gears or go into reverse, by switching the gears. If so, then allow me to show you how to switch this around. We first want to pause the game either by tapping the escape key on the keyboard, or on PlayStation, you'll have to press the options button. Once you've done so, you'll head over to the third tab that says options. Go to accessibility, and towards the very bottom, you'll see two options: auto reverse vehicles and reverse gear inverts throttle. If you enable auto reverse vehicles, you'll be able to reverse the vehicle without switching gears, of course, and that is how you do it. Hopefully that helps out a lot for those out there that have experienced difficulty when driving. Personally, I like the way it is currently, but this setting should help out a lot of those who need it. Also, if you've had some trouble assigning binds on PC, then just know you're not alone. There's a player that asked the community manager about where to assign binds on vehicle commands, since he plays on Azurity instead of QWERTY, which it's currently set to. The community manager Mitchimus wrote that it's a bug, so that should be fixed in an upcoming hotfix or patch. Last but not least about vehicles, I'm sure you're probably wondering where the hell is the fast recon vehicle stratagem? Well, the answer to that is it will be available in an upcoming major order. The community manager Mitchimus wrote on the official Helldivers 2 Discord stating exactly that, as you can see right here on screen. He mentions that it's an upcoming major order that will reward us once it's completed, and that is what you should expect next, or possibly in another major order. Hopefully it's the next one, because I'd love to roam around in the vehicle on an automaton and terminate planets as well. There's been a lot of comments about this, and I didn't know at the time, but now I know, and that is when you can expect the vehicle stratagem. Moving forward, we have an official statement from the Arrowhead team about the connection issues as well as long queue times. I've seen a few comments about this in the last two videos. I haven't experienced it at all, thankfully, just yet. I'm not too sure if it's primarily on PC or console issue, but yeah, nonetheless, that's what's going on as of right now. With that said, the Arrowhead team posted this statement and said, "Some players are currently experiencing connectivity issues or difficulties logging into Helldivers 2 due to server instability. This is a temporary problem caused by the large amount of players online. We apologize for the inconvenience, and we assure you that we are working on resolving this as soon as possible. If you cannot log into Helldivers 2 because you have been placed in a queue, please remain patient and do not exit the game. You will automatically log in once more player spots become available." Yeah, that's been going on ever since the new patch dropped. We previously had about 30,000 Helldivers about 4 days ago before the patch. Now there's 100,000 plus players, and that right there makes a lot of sense. These servers haven't had that much activity in quite some time, probably ever since the game dropped, right? Anyway, the Arrowhead team mentioned in this post, as you have heard, that you have to wait during these long queue times in order to get in, so have patience and eventually you'll be able to get in. Alright, continuing along, the next topic we'll discuss is known issues. So Arrowhead's support site now has a list of new known issues from the latest update, and the developers are planning on fixing them soon enough. Now before we go over the list, I want to say right now that I'm only going over this so that you know what's going on with the current bugs. There's no negativity or nothing bad to say about the game or nothing to spread bad about it, right? It's just to inform you what's going on. With that being said, we can see the new list of known issues, and here's what they are. So right here at the top it says new issues. Dolby Atmos is not working on PS5, disabling it in the settings for now will return audio. Purple question marks can sometimes be seen on high value asset missions. Helldivers may get stuck in a prone pose after ragdolling. Resupply backpacks do not supply stims to other players. Black box mission terminals may sometimes clip into the ground and becoming unusable. Opening the text chat when inside a vehicle will cause the Helldiver to use their primary weapon instead of vehicle weapons. Grenades may sometimes not properly destroy Illuminate spawners when thrown through the door. Okay, so that right there is the very last bug on the list, and it looks like the Riddler bug is back again. For those that don't know, I've been calling it the Riddler bug for quite some time, considering there's a bunch of question marks that can pop up in game. It's a bug that pops up every now and then, so it's not too often. But that right there is not too bad in terms of a bug, but overall, these are a few bugs that have been popping up as of late. If you've had one of the known issues appear in game, just know it will be fixed. Just gotta give the Arrowhead developers enough time, and soon enough, those problems will be patched. Also, let me know in the comments below whether or not there's a bug that wasn't listed here. We are now going to check out the new NPC dialogue if you haven't already. Not only that, there's new clips that will pop up on the Super Destroyer TV. What I'll do is play the audio and everything right now, and then you can catch me at the end of the clips to talk a little bit about it.
Everyone knows the Illuminate were wiped out after the First Galactic War. The official records state it very clearly. They say, at the end of the war, the Illuminate were absolutely 100% destroyed. How can something survive being 100% destroyed? No one could have predicted the return of the Illuminate. This is why I always say military spending should be at least twice what you think you need. Just in case a 100-year-old alien species you thought was dead comes back. We tell stories about the Illuminate to children, about what happens if they don't vote. I never thought we'd encounter the real thing.
They always told us scary stories about the Illuminate when we were kids. They said if you didn't vote, the squids would come back and eat your brains. And now they really are back. I wonder what they'll tell kids now. You know what they say about the Illuminate, right? They eat each other's brains to pass along knowledge from one generation to the next. So make sure you blow their heads off whenever you get the chance. Long ship deployments are great for saving up. You get the family separation bonus, which more than makes up for the bunk and chow fees. Of course, I don't qualify for the bonus since I haven't been approved yet, but once I am, I'll have a nice nest egg saved up. Democracy's kind of like...
This is Coretta Kelly with all you need to know. Reports of Illuminate sightings have been confirmed by the Ministry of Intelligence for the first time since their total annihilation. The Ministry of Intelligence publishes a list of 11 signs your brain may be under Illuminate influence. Sign number 1, maladaptive doubt. And celebrated geneticist Jiahong Zhong has been killed in his home by a chicken-cow-pig hybrid. And that is all you need to know. Good evening. I'm your host, Coretta Kelly, with breaking news. In a shocking development, the anti-democratic aliens known as the Illuminate have been confirmed as responsible for multiple simultaneous attacks across the galaxy. The advanced and highly xenophobic beings were thought exterminated in the First Galactic War, but according to the Ministry of Defense, their survival indicates that our children and our freedom are now more at risk than ever before. The Helldivers deployed immediately in response to the Illuminate, and have already killed many of the intolerant squid-like terrorists while taking minimal casualties. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
One of the NPCs mentioned something about the Illuminates eating each other's brains. I thought that was interesting, but what's more interesting is why there's no Illuminate children running around trying to attack us like the adult versions are. If you don't know, the Illuminate turned most of these citizens into voteless, so does that mean they're offing children and not turning them into voteless? That's something I want to know. So with that aside, I would love to know your thoughts about the Illuminate children and all that, and also what you think about the new clips that pop up in the Super Destroyers TV. Let me know your overall thoughts about it. Last but not least, for today's news, I do want to go over this as well. I think it's worth mentioning. There was someone that asked the developer, or the CCO, Mr. Pillistad, a question about weapons. This person wanted to know if there's going to be more super weapons or just only melee weapons in the superstore. This is what Pillistad said. He mentioned only time will tell. Then when another player asked, does this mean shovels, as in will that be the next weapon? And he said, maybe, ... So maybe we'll get a shovel, maybe we'll get an electric shovel, who knows what type of melees that they're going to introduce, but I'm totally ecstatic for it and I can't wait to see what they do. Now, what would you like to see? Would you like to see an electric katana, maybe a shovel, maybe the saber from Helldivers 1? What would you like to see melee-wise? And if there's nothing you would like to see melee-wise, what would you like to see gun-wise if they were to pop up some guns in the superstore? So let me know. On a different note, I'm going to discuss your suggested loadout. I've been doing this for quite a while now, so if you have posted one in the past and it was not selected, feel free to comment it again. What we have today is a comment from LOL Twest9423 that suggested a loadout called Arc Trooper. That's a great name, by the way. We are using an arc-resistant armor passive. The primary is either a blitzer or a breaker shotgun. I think the blitzer is a lot better than the breaker since you can hit multiple enemies and stun lock them as well. The secondary is a grenade pistol that can 2-tap overseers, and the grenade choice is stun for stunning enemies, of course, trying to get close to you. Lastly, we have 4 stratagems. The Tesla Tower can help with crowd control as well as eliminating any threat, whether that's overseers or voteless. The second stratagem is the Arc Thrower for its phenomenal range, power, and it can also stun lock enemies as well. Not only that, we have the Guard Dog Rover to also take out any of the squids trying to get close to us. And the last stratagem is Eagle Rockets for just about everything. This loadout, I believe, deserves a 4.5 out of 5 General Brass stars. I think if we had a weapon that could 2-shot or 1-shot the Overseers, it would be a 5-star loadout, but that's not to say this isn't a good loadout, because it actually is really good. With everything being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. We're now going to check out the top 3 comments. If you guys would like to be featured next time, all you have to do is comment down below. The first top comment is by AbsFanDad. I love how the content creators on this game have already made many videos about the new update. Absolutely, you know, there wasn't really much to talk about. There was no content. Sure, there were war bonds to go over, but really there wasn't much. And now that we have the Illuminate, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more coming on the way. The second top comment is from DenyZN6517. The flamethrower is actually pretty good if you wear the arc-resistant armor. It is obviously amazing against the Volus. It is decent against the ground overseers. If you get in close to the harvesters, they will no longer use the laser and just shoot you with their piddle little zap. The TTK against them is pretty good too. Now, you're absolutely not wrong about the flamethrower being good against the overseers, or at least fairly good, as well as, you know, it's amazing against the Volus. But when you use the flamethrower on the harvester, it's really not that good. At least in my opinion, I tried it out. I tested it out even with the arc armor, and I wasn't able to down one. Last but not least, the third top comment is by Spider Doom HG3IY. The laser cannon overlooked as always. It shreds the Illuminate and blasts through all their plasma shields almost instantly. From what I've played, it seems energy weapons do significantly more damage overall to them compared to ballistic. Now, this comment right here, I did see this and I replied back to you as well as someone else did. They left a timestamp of me actually talking about it, so I didn't overlook it or overshadow it by any means. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, those are the top 3 comments. I appreciate all the support from you guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed and turn on those notifications. It's all free, completely free. You're not going to get charged. But if you want to, you can join as a member. That's not a bad deal either. Also, members will be featured at the end of the video each time, as well as I will include your name in the description. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.